Hello there everybody, Spot92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Irae Amantes Amentes. In the last episode we had ourselves a very, very pleasant chat with Reinhard Heydrich. A very enjoyable conversation, I must say. And also we were spared, thank goodness for that. And we finally got Marie back. Although, it seems like Marie's a bit different now. From the way her demeanor seems a bit different. And my initial thought for that is probably it has to do with maybe her being reformed alongside Ren. So I'm kind of wondering, like, whether it be a combination of her experiencing fear for the first time or the being reformed might have something to do with that. But I'm curious to kind of see how further this goes, so... Also, we got a very wonderful theme playing, so let's continue. After watching Ren Fuji leave the church grounds, Trifa slowly turned around. He then spoke in a solemn tone, with no hint of parting grief.
お待たせしましたね。茶番は終わりです。ベイ、マレウス、レオンハルト、バビロン、そしてトバルカイン。
No one showed themselves, but there was no doubt that they were all listening. Thus, the priest continued.
じき、夜が明ける。その時をもって本格的な開戦とします。
Oh,
もはややめぬし、邪魔も入れぬ。存分に狂い乱れるがよろしかろう。今現在、開いたスワスチカは2つ。
Shit's gonna go down.
そのどちらもハイドリヒ教へ捧げる有資格者を書いている。第一はキルヒアイゼン教、第二はシュピーネ。この2つにおいて黄金の恩恵は誰にも授けられることはない。だが残り6つ、そして我らもまた6人。まあ無駄に欲をかかなければ丸く収まるわけですが。
If none of us become too greedy, stop laughing, Kaziklu Bay. Stop laughing. And now Alex is laughing. Okay, why am I even keeping all that up? Yeah, you know what? You guys are gonna fuck things up. Have fun.
ハイドリヒ教は血を望んでおられる。あのお方は昔と何ら変わっていない。おのおのその旨考慮して彼の僧侶としての責務を果たしなさい。まずは5つ。
With the cheer of a bard chanting a poem, Trifa continued.
すなわちこれより3つ開くことを許可します。ただし同日のうちに行うのは避けなさい。早い者勝ちですが、そこは守らねば核の身が保たぬ。重複しても2つまで。虐殺よりも戦争を。何時ら皆に幸いあれ。
Oh boy.
ジークハイル。
ジークハイルビクトリア。
With the united cheer as the cue, they began to scatter. Seeing them off without even looking at them, Trifa lowered his voice, letting out a silent chuckle.
まったくこれは救いがなく、かつ面倒なことになってまいりましたよ。本当に。もはや是非もないですね。優雅にたばかりなどと言える時期も終わりましたが。
Indeed. From now on, there would be no peace. With the gray of morning as its herald, Surahara City was about to transform into a hellish warfield. Oh, goody, my favorite kind! Oh, wow, I could have gone a little bit further, and then I would have been in the other chapter there. Horror Spina is already dead. now 13 swastikas, 2 out of 8. Chapter 7, Sacrament. End. Well, on the positive note, at least we got Marie back. Whoa! Ooh! Is it weird? Like, for like a split second, I thought this was someplace different, but no, it's literally the same place. I think it's just darker now. The surroundings welcome their master when they fall into a deathly silence, leaving only the flutter of his mantle and the echo of his solemn march to dominate the soundscape. Polished to a mirror sheen and cleaned of even the tiniest speck of dust, the flooring was made of a pristine marble. Or so it seemed. Though part of it lay beneath the scarlet carpet, presenting a path fit for royalty down the center of the space, not a single seam was in sight. It brought to any observer's mind the notion that the entirety was carved from a singular colossal crag, and nothing more. Of course, that notion offended reason, for anyone with even the slightest hint of architectural knowledge understood that covering an area of at least 500 square meters with a single piece of material, thick or thin, was impossible from a transportation standpoint. Therefore, the next idea the observer would get was that the lack of visible seams was due to the masterful alignment of the marble patterns, though that was only under the assumption that the floor was, indeed, the marble it appeared to be.
お帰りなさいませ、ハイドリッヒョ。客人は仰せの通り、無事を送り返してございます。
ご苦労。
This was his castle, the realm of his throne, the world he created for his own sake, an unearthly land untouched by the ordinary. Thus, the very expectation of familiar building materials was a mistake. Indeed, to the standard eye, 'twas nothing but a castle, a magnificent, luxurious palace. Yet for some reason it felt as dark and down as a catacomb. All hint of that which could be called life was thoroughly exterminated. Everything within was under a thick veil of stillness, silence, chill, and gloom. For all the magical majesty the castle boasted, it was a far cry from a perfect fit for its gaudy golden lord. If anything, it was more suited for his dearest friend.
ケイラも良い退屈しのぎになったであろう。事前演習の一環としては期待だが、客が客だ。緩んだタガを締め直す役には立つ。ことによればケイラ、身を保てずに離散するやもと思っていたがな。
ご冗談を。
The kneeling woman with half of her face, a war-torn wasteland, Riley smiled and replied to her master.
確かにおっしゃる通り、脅威に値するとは思いましたが。しかし。
Hi, Samuel.
無茶と冗談総動員みたいな人なら、僕ら毎日見てるでしょ。
Hey, Schreiber. Her line was continued by a lean, one-eyed boy with silver hair. Though he was kneeling as the woman was, the tone of his voice and his expression no hint of formality. By no means, however, did that mean he didn't respect his master. With his cheery smile like a wag of the tail and his unrestrained words like a merry bark, he was the image of a puppy frolicking around its owner. That's a terrifying image, considering it's Schreiber.
あれって何です？クラフトの女なんでしょ？はっきり言ってわけわかんないですね。
それは彼女がという意味か？シュライバー。
はい、ハイドリヒ教。そうじゃありません。僕がわかんないのは彼の主義というか。
Replying with militaristic expressions, the ashen boy, Wolfgang Schreiber, tilted his head to the side and searched his minimal vocabulary for words that would serve to describe his impressions.
あの子はよどみがない。真っ白です。それを月星として崇めたり、親切に泥の靴跡残したいっていうなら、まあ珍しくはないからわかるんですよ。でもクラフトは自分じゃ何もしないじゃないですか。額に入れて飾るでも触れるでもなく他人任せ。そそらない女への適当な扱いにしか見えませんよ。 もっとこう男性的征服欲ってやつですか？あと所有欲とかそういうのあってしかるべきじゃないんですかね。僕には理解できません。
To this boy, everything but his master and himself was a target for his slaughter, and he didn't even have a scale for the feeling of attraction. The words he spoke were based on objectivity and prevailing perceptions. They were an outsider's look into the phenomena of male action towards attractive females. He said that he didn't understand it, but in actuality, there wasn't a single thing he could understand. His impressions were better described as knowledge of phenomena, or lack of it. The shape of Karl Kraft's love just happened to be outside of Schreiber's foreknowledge. Nothing more. Reinhard was fully aware of his retainer's abnormality. The boy was equal to an insect with a human mind. Or, better yet, a machine. One that was open to the installation of new programs. Though feelings will stay alien to him, it was possible to get him to know what it was.
もう方、自然をめでる感覚に近いのだろうよ。あるいはエデンの園というやつかな。
I guess that's one way of putting it. Therefore, Reinhard taught his human-looking inhuman subordinate of his dear friend's values, or at least his own take on them.
そうした意味で男女の営みという概念ではないのさ。カールを人がましく見ようとする K の視点は面白いが、それは徒労だな、シュライバー。
つまりペット同士交配させて遊ぶってやつですか？でもそれってああ。
Schreiber struck his palm with his fist like he had reached some sort of conclusion. The crimson woman remained silent as she knit her brows. Reinhard went on in a whisper, smirking atop his throne.
意志は流れいずり、天地創造。もって形をなし動き出す。思うに、つまりそういうことなのであろうよ。蛇は楽園を追われる。で、それはそうと、一人足りんな。
Oh, sorry, that's me, Chief. I'm kind of in the arena right now. Don't judge me.
Well, that would be where Machina is. But it will. The Imperial Guard that served the Lord of this abnormal castle amount to 3, and yet only 2 were present.
病気が出たか。
みたいですね。もう我慢できないんじゃないですか？
なるほど。
Though Schreiber talked as if it didn't concern him, it wasn't hard to perceive the rage within. There was little doubt that the removal of a single layer of his skin would unleash the rampaging beast he really was.
ならば相手をしてやれ、シュライバー。増票連れを一個分ほふったところで、マキナは満足などすまい。
それを言うなら誰が相手でも彼は満足なんかしないでしょ
う。だが大事の前だ。あれに殺されてはたとえこの城内でも面倒になる。K ならそうやすやすと死にはすまい。
His master's words made him hang his head and grin widely. Then, with a shiver in his arms and shoulders, the whole of his body started to boil with an uncontrollable desire.
わかりましたよ。ですが、ハイドリヒ卿。
無論、試し合いではない。殺し合い。共に加減などケイラはできまい。
Well, I mean, again, as long as they're having fun, I guess.
それで枠が欠けるとなればそれまでのことよ。行くがいい。
ヤボール。
With a dash as quick as his response, the frenzied albedo left to where the iron nigrido was. Left alone with her master, the crimson rubedo displayed no feelings about her comrades as she continued her iron silence. Self-assertion was pointless. A loyal subject does nothing but what the master orders.
ザミエル。
はっ。
Lo, for an order was about to come. And regardless of what it was, the woman would bear no question as she would execute it with utmost thoroughness. The state of affairs did not allow her to mess about, so she took up the role of a device meant to complete tasks with optimal efficiency. Even if it was a device that brought only destruction and violence.
第5は K の手で開け。多少無理もあろうが、少々強引に出て構わん。後続が潜りやすいよう、道を大きくしておけよ。
Okay, now that kind of makes me... He said leave and open the 5th, so that leaves me to think of two ideas here. Either she's going to strike after swastikas 3 and 4 are created or activated, or they number... I wish... I must have... I hope I did. I don't think I took this as a note. I can't remember if they actually labeled each swastika by number. I think they did, so I'm thinking that's what he's meaning right now.
しかるのち、カールの大隊と遊んでやれ。K のローゲでな。鍛え直すがいい。
Oh, goody.
ヤボールマインヘル
With those words and a reverent nod, Rubedo stood up, bowed, and distanced herself from the throne. Then, as if signaled by her leave, the walls, flooring, and ceiling wavered and shook as they started to go after her. It was the cry of those charging into war. An army's worth of souls got torn away from the castle and marched into the battlefield under Rubedo's command.
さて、彼女は加減を知らんぞ。芯のない生蔵ならば、溶け落ち砕ける。これが正念場というところかな。
Resting upon his throne, Reinhard smirked as the castle shivered under the weight of his legion. An army numbering in the millions, all alight with craving for Dies Irae. Oh, and how close it was. Just a little. They all had to wait just a little more. Oh, goody! Oh, Chapter 8. Noxera. I think, Sarah. It had already gotten bright by the time I reached the city center. At a glance, the morning scenery of the town seemed unchanged from its usual appearance, making the night's events feel like a bad nightmare. However, I knew that was naive sentimentality on my part, nothing more. A bunch of Nazi psychos had most certainly infested my home ground. All those normal people were in mortal danger despite not even suspecting a thing. If I was an adult with an actual position in society, I would do all I could to evacuate the place. Unfortunately, I was just another kid in the eyes of the public, with no power to move the people. I had no choice but to grit my teeth and go along with those bastards' war game. The lives of everyone in this town were my chips in this poker game of death, where folding was not an option. Couldn't help wishing to go to prostrate and apologize to every single one of the businessmen and jogging students bustling through the morning streets. It might not have been directly my fault, but I was still the one playing with their lives, unbeknownst to them. Even if I won, this feeling of guilt wouldn't fade. Still, this wasn't the time to be getting too philosophical. I needed to dedicate all my time to averting the worst possible outcome of this fucked up situation. Forgetting myself in a woe is me routine wasn't going to help anyone. I calmed myself. The first thing I had to do now was learn more about the bastards, and I needed someone to help me on that, regardless of how much I hated the idea of it. It seemed like Shiro and Honjo knew significantly more about the Obsidian Roundtable than I did. Plus, at least according to Father Trifa, they should have still been alive, no doubt hanging out at that club of theirs. I had to find them, exchange information, and come up with a proper plan before anything unexpected happened again. Time was of the essence. Marie pulled on my sleeve, urging me to turn around. As I did,
あの人たちはレンとかすみの友達？部屋にかけてあったのと同じ服着てるよ。
Marie pointed at a group of students from my school, at least judging by their uniforms. It was still a bit early for class, so they probably belonged to one of those clubs with morning practice.
おい待て。
Clubs? Morning practice? Weren't most of such activities put on hold because of the decapitation murders? There was one idiot who ignored the warnings, but any students with at least a shred of common sense would be holed up in their homes at this hour. Besides, wasn't today Sunday? My own stupidity left me momentarily speechless. How long had I been locked up underground exactly? Good question. I never even tried to check how much time I'd spent unconscious since that battle at the bridge.
Mari!
I stopped myself, realizing she'd have no concept of dates anyway. I gaped at Marie for only a few moments, unable to form sensible words, before figuring to check my pockets. My phone was gone. I suppose there was little to be surprised about that. I mean, I was captured and locked up in a dungeon, following a long and strenuous battle. If I didn't drop the phone mid-fight, they would have taken it away from me while I was unconscious. Hey, you assholes, give me back my phone! And Kaziku Bey just kind of casually just going through the phone right now. Hey, bitches, look at this shit! I don't know. I don't know. I looked around in panic and discovered a convenience store nearby. I promptly stormed inside and asked the clerk about today's date. Ooh, you're in there for a full day. God damn it. I've been unconscious for a whole day. I know, that's what I said. I left the store in a hurry, almost crashing into Marie, who followed me in confusion. Sorry. And at top speed, there was not a second to waste. Not waiting for an answer, I dashed down the street. Before I could get too far, however, she caught me by the sleeve, nearly making me crash into the pavement as I lost my footing. My first thought was to shake her hand off, but then I realized. Yeah, you don't want to leave her around town by herself. I mean, I understand that she can technically go inside you, but I'm just telling you, while she's in this form, don't leave her unattended. You dingbat. Oh, right. Of course. I couldn't leave her to wander the streets alone. I lost my cool there for a second. Still, it didn't change the fact that we had to hurry. I had no idea how long her endurance would last, but in the worst case scenario, I could just carry her in my arms. We were past the point where we could afford minding the eyes of strangers. I grabbed Marie by the hand and began my mad dash down the street for real. My heart was jackhammering like a damn fire bell. Kasumi would run right into Sakura and Rusalka if she went to school today. And now that I had established myself as their opposition, that meant mortal danger for her. I had to do everything in my power to protect her. I felt dazed at my own hypocrisy. I've been passing countless other students heading to school on my way home. Yet here I was, completely ignoring them while only caring about saving Kasumi. She was the only person at school I could still call a friend. Now that Himuro had basically turned out to be one of them, in a way, Kasumi was now my Achilles heel. That was my excuse for prioritizing her above the rest. The other students would be of no use to them as hostages, which placed Kasumi in the greatest danger. Still. The truth was that I simply devalued human lives. I cared little about people whose names I didn't know if the alternative meant losing Kasumi. Mere moments ago, I was pondering the safety of the entire town, and now that I found myself cornered, I abandoned it all in a heartbeat. And this game of self-blame was as hypocritical as everything else about me. No matter how much I cried over it being a tough choice, I'd never even considered the possibility of sacrificing Kasumi. In which case, I had to stop wallowing in self-pity and stick to my guns like a man. Look what you did! You worried Marie, you asshole! I wasn't crying, but I might if you keep that up, so please stop prodding me, I'm begging you. Marie gave my hand a firm but gentle squeeze. Just a while ago, she was goofing around like a kid, yet now she consoled me. Something really had happened to her.
私がついてる。
She seems less air-brained. Or what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like I said, she has like a bit of some strange maturity that she must have underwent. Right now, though, her abrupt change in personality ended up helping me out.
だから怖くないよ。一緒だよ。
She was right. I could depend on her now.
マリー、全部終わったら
When everything's over, let's go eat that crazy parfait again. And it'd be even better if Kasumi, Himuro, Shiro, and Honjo could join us as well. No one should be able to blame me for hoping for such a future. That'd be a nice little treat. And so, after a few minutes of running, we reached our apartment complex. Jumping 3 steps at a time, I flew to her door and started banging on it.
おい俺だ、いんのかかすみ、出てこいこら。
I honestly felt like a Yakuza debt collector there for a second, but that was beyond caring.
起きろ、寝てんのかおい、かすみ。
Getting no response, I tried the doorknob. It turned without resistance.
鍵が開いてる。
Uh-oh. With seething anxiety gnawing at my heart, I took a step inside the room.
いないね。
The room was completely empty, just as Marie had said. I tried looking through the hole leading to my own room, but there was no one there either.
まさか、もう出たのか。
And why would she leave the door unlocked? That made no sense. It was way too early. The clock had been pointing at 7 o'clock in the morning, and she only ever did her kendo thing after school. That club didn't have morning practice. Could you think that maybe she might be with Shiro? You know, there's a possibility. I mean, Shiro's not dumb. He may be reckless, but he's not dumb. So, maybe in his own way, he kind of took Kasumi to the club to act as kind of protector there, in a way, knowing that shit's going down.
あのお揃いの服はないね。
That or Honjo kidnapped her again. Marie, who had been looking over the room behind my back, pointed out that Kasumi's uniform was gone. I found a spare in the closet, but the one she would always wear was definitely not in the room. She must have left wearing it. There was no other way to explain it. In other words,
遅かったのか。
I couldn't think of another possibility. But in that case, it seemed odd that we never ran into her on our way here. It would make no sense for her to abruptly change the usual route she took to school, but then how early could she have left?
追いかける？
いや、
Something wasn't right here. Normally, it would make the most sense to try and catch up to her, but I began to doubt if she ever left for school at all. Her door being left unlocked was fishy enough. Kasumi might not have been the most fastidious person in the world, but she at least knew how to lock her damn door. Could she have been kidnapped then? Probably Honjo. Where would they keep her? Club. Just as the welling anxiety in my chest had peaked out and was about to explode. Startled by the sudden sound of the phone, Marie latched onto my shoulder, sending both of us tumbling down onto the floor. You're not used to phones, are you? Wait, sure that hurt, but I'm about to get choked here, so get off me already!
何？あれ何？なんで音がするの？
Oh my god, she's never seen a phone before. It's just a goddamn everyday Wait, phone?
マリ、頼む、どいて。
やだ。何か光ってるよ。怖い。
お前の胸の方がよっぽど怖えよ。
Okay. If possible, I wanted to avoid getting smothered by these things. I shoved Marie aside, who had showed no sign of letting go of my head, and took a closer look at Kasumi's blinking phone. Wait, she left her phone here too? The phone's LED screen displayed an unknown number.
誰だ。
I had a bad feeling about this. Considering everything we'd found out so far, it could very well have been a ransom call from the kidnappers.
マリ、どう思う？
I hope that her inexplicable intuition could help us on this matter, but...
お前。
Ouch. I had no idea what was up with her, but she seemed completely out of it, still crumpled to the floor and mumbling to herself.
お前お前って呼ばれた。
Okay. I wished she could have at least taken care to hide her panties. Trying to discuss things with her in that state seemed like wasted effort, so I instead focused my attention on the phone. I figured ignoring it was out of the question. For all I knew, the situation might have been growing worse and worse with every second I wasted.
もしもし。
I steeled myself and picked up the receiver.
どちらさんで。
Oh wait, maybe it's just an in-room phone, not a cell phone. Then... In that moment, I learned that when the stars aligned right, even those most patient could crack.
ふざけんなよてめえ
What the hell is this? Now I feel like a damn idiot. Those bird-brained bastards!
なになにどうしたのレン大声出して。
Marie peeked out from behind my shoulder. I handed her the receiver in silence. She took a deep breath to calm down, then pressed it against her ear. Oh my god.
これどうするの喋ればいいのねえ。
Oh my god, you poor child. I didn't feel like explaining the intricacies of phones to her right now. Well, I suppose my anger was uncalled for. If anything, I should have felt thankful to the two bastards. I was merely trying to vent my frustration on someone. I was fully aware of that. Called it. It was just that the abrupt change of mood sort of made me crack. I ended up running around in a panic for absolutely no reason, like some damn idiot. And so the only option left to me at this point was to completely lose my shit. I should have known blockhead number 2 would be just as reckless as number 1. Birds of a feather, those two. Of course. What did I say?
なんか今もギャーギャーギャーギャーわめいてるしさ。説明責任果たしなさいよ色男って。そこのブスくれてる人に言っといて。じゃ、この通話が終わると同時にその電話機は爆発します。ピーという発信音が鳴った後。
Huh?
うるさい黙れお前絶対いつかパクられるからな日本警察なめんなよバカ
I slammed the receiver down so hard it shook the table.
やんまり本当に爆発なんかしないから
You just hear that slow ticking beep, beep, beep. Oh shit, it might explode. Run! I considered Marie, who had been cowering in the corner, pressing her palms against her ears, and took a sigh. She seemed to have remained childlike and blindly trusting despite the recent changes that occurred in her. I was better off keeping jokes to myself around her.
大丈夫なの
Pretty sure.
ああだいたいどんな仕組みで家電を遠隔爆破させられるんだっていう
Microwave phone waves. What the?
するのかよ
It wasn't a huge explosion or anything, but fumes burst out of the receiver after a relatively loud crackling noise. How did you do that? That Honjo, was she out of her mind?
嘘つき。
あまあごめん
This is Honjo we're talking about. It's something that she might do. I felt it unfair that I had to be the one to apologize, but at least I knew Kazumi was safe. Or rather, as safe as one could be around those two. Although in that case, it made the explanation of the situation that she apparently demanded an extremely troublesome and complicated affair, which I would rather very much avoid. However, escapism wasn't really an option for me, so we took off to the club and got there in about an hour. Any normal person would assume that the door to a nightclub would never be open this early in the morning, but the bulky man standing there just silently let us through. That was probably the bouncer. Despite having the build of a pro wrestler, he seemed no more than a papier-mâché tiger to me. Surely that was understandable. I mean, I just walked out of a no-joke literal hive of monsters. A man that appeared to be larger than average might have made me feel meek before, but there wasn't even a hint of fear within me now. Hell, I actually felt peaceful. Marie had always been dense to such things, and this time was no different. She nonchalantly followed me while showing no particular reaction to the huge bouncer. So?
やあ、おかえり。
It's been a while. We entered the hall and got welcomed by Honjo.
怪我とかしてない？なんだったら私が見るけど。
I'm good.
いや、大丈夫。
She talked as if she had medical knowledge, but I couldn't care less if she did.
シロとカスミは
寝てるよ、二人とも。ここそっか？
お前さっきカスミがわめいてるとか言ってただろうが。
Oh, I just tased her.
いや、そうなんだけどさ、あんまりうるさいから黙らしちゃったよ。ごめんね。
Oh my god, What did you do?
けど乱暴はしてないからね。
Oh.
この必殺夢見るハンカチでちょちょいっと。
Ah, classical chloroform. Never mind.
いい、もう分かった。
It probably had chloroform or something on it. It was borderline, no, definitely criminal. But right now I felt grateful to her for silencing that annoyance. I should also thank her for the fact that they stopped her from going to school. The means might have been questionable, but I had a hunch that it wouldn't have been too different if I was the one doing it.
まあ例ならシロに言ってよね。あいつがやれって言ったんだからさ。
Alright, so I guessed correctly on that one, I think.
で、どうする？シロだけでもこそっか？
後でいいよ。お前とも話がしたいし。
あれれ？前は露骨にすっ込んでるビッチみたいな態度取ってたくせに。
事情が変わったんだよ。それにビッチうんぬんは思ってないぞ。
ねえ、ビッチって何？
Oh my god. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, how are you gonna explain this to Marie?
こいつみたいな女。
Honjo grinned it as she pointed towards me.
つまり気が多くて一人に定まらない。あっちもこっちもみんな大好き。Love is all。
じゃあ、いい人のことなんだね。
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 oh no, oh my god. Honjo, stop tainting this poor child!
そのいい人ってのはどうしようもないやつを無理やり褒めるときに使う便利な言葉なんだよ。
よくわかっていらっしゃる。
Oh, shut up.
とにかくいいだろう。シロの前にお前からもちょっと聞きたいことがある。
そんな、私の性感帯なんか聞いてどうすんのよ。変態。
I can never predict anything that you're going to say, Ellie. Dear God. Completely ignoring her joke, I took Marie's hand and walked into that one VIP room.
ちょっと兄さん、どうスルーですか？
This seems like the only thing that can probably counter you. Hey, Honjo. You too, Shiro. I think you should know that it's high time for you both to get serious about this. Anyway.
電話爆破の仕掛けが知りたいの？
Yes, please, tell me.
違うって。
Don't you fucking take this from me, Ren. I need to know the answer. I thought I had been lying if I said I wasn't curious.
あれはね、別に遠隔とかそんなんじゃなくて、私があそこでかすみちゃんさらった時に直接仕込んだネタなんだよ。
Okay, that makes sense.
具体的に言うと、一回受話器を取って戻したら10秒後にボン。
Oh.
まあ子供の理科実験レベルだよ。そんな真剣に不思議がられても困るっていうか、照れるっていうか、いや褒めたいならありがたく称賛受けるけど。
I'll praise you, that was clever.
心配するな、絶対褒めない。
Ah, damn it. The hell, why did you blow up someone's telephone in the first place? I should tell her off for pulling this stupid shit so nonchalantly. But
そのことはもういいから、ちょっと真面目に答えてくれ。シロ、あいつ何なんだ？
oh yeah, how's he doing?
ん？
俺の知ってるあいつじゃなかった。お前なら知ってるんだろ。
I didn't see how his one-on-one with Wilhelm ended, but there was no doubt that he was even less normal than before. He wouldn't be alive right now if he wasn't.
シロ、重傷とか負ってないのか？
何箇所か脱臼はしてたけどね。でもそんなもんだよ。はめりゃ治るし。
God damn, my arm's broken. No, it's not.
それなりに疲れはしたみたいだけどね。日頃あんまり寝ないくせに今はバタンキューしてるから。で、あいつは何者なんだって言われても、レン君は心当たりないわけ？
I had nothing. Zero. Zilch. There was no denying he was a pretty good brawler, and more used to fights than I was. However, I always gauged him as that one combative delinquent that every school had, and definitely not someone who could go hand to hand with one of those lunatics. After all, Wilhelm almost put me down like a sick dog once, and so my battle with Shiro ended in a draw that got us both hospitalized, and there was no way he could stand a chance against that Nazi. This could only mean that his change was caused by something that happened to him during the 2 months after he escaped the hospital and met up with Honjo. But what was the something anyway?
あんたはあんまり人のこと詮索するタイプじゃないと思ってたんだけどね。
ああ、柄じゃない。けどそれも時と場合だ。お前らここで引っ込むつもりはないんだろ？俺もまあ、お前らを当てにしてることがあるし、情報交換は必要だろ。
Not a bad idea.
それって2日遅れの同盟成立と取っていいわけ？
Just accept it, dude. Just accept it.
ねえ、どうなの？
ああ、そう取っていい。
There you go. There was no reason for me to deny their help at this point. I was aware of this for a while now, but my tendency to try to solve everything all by myself was a really bad trait. My discarding of that principle, which was more like a stubborn fixation, was probably caused by the feeling of powerlessness. Standing before Reinhard made me realize and understand that the burden was too great for me alone. I guess it was safe to say I only became more irrational. But whatever the case, I needed their help.
仲間なら、あいつのことをちゃんと把握しておかないといけない。
仲間なら三角中継してないで直接聞けばいいじゃんよ。
Fair enough.
あいつ絶対真面目に答えないだろ。
Also fair. He'd probably put up the most serious face he had and say that he's a legendary hero chosen by God himself.
だからお前に聞いてんだけど。
実はあいつ神に選ばれた伝説の英雄で。
お前ら思考回路全く同じかよ。
いやいや、どう冗談だからそんなにムキになんないで。
Honjo smiled and told me to take some deep breaths to calm down. The absolute lack of tension was a striking similarity between them both.
まあでも真面目な話ね。こういうのはちょっとどうかと思うわけよ。やっぱりいかんでしょ。本人がいないところで秘密をベラベラ喋るってのは。あいつがどう思うかは別として、私は好きじゃないのよね、こういうおしゃべり。だいたいほら、マリーちゃんだってつまんない話だから寝ちゃったじゃない。
Did you bore the poor child already? She wasn't lying. Marie was peacefully sleeping with her eyes closed and her head against my shoulder.
それでもまだ知りたいなら、交換条件ってことでフェアに行こうよ。私は今寝ちゃってるシロのことを話すから、そっちも同じく寝ちゃってるマリーちゃんのことを話して。
I wonder how that's gonna go. Oh, by the way, okay, here's the secret. She lives inside my arm. And then immediately he just gets kicked out.
もしくは 起きてる私たち2人だけのことを話すか。どう？
分かった。
I nodded.
校舎で行こう。お前の言う通り、隠れて噂話ってのは趣味が悪い。
That's fair. Seemed like I'd have to ask about Shiro straight from the horse's mouth. It wasn't like I didn't trust Honjo or anything, but the idea of spilling Marie's circumstance didn't sit right with me.
オッケー。じゃあ先行はそっちでいいよ。1回につき1問1答。
And that was how we began our little two-player round of 20 questions. She couldn't make it out. In fact, she couldn't even hear a thing. She was told to wait in the next room if she wanted to hear the whole story, but it wasn't exactly easy to eavesdrop on them from where she was.
いや、でも、ところどころ聞こえなくも。
Kasumi! Maybe indeed, perhaps she was. However, there was no denying that it was a challenge. Deep within, Kasumi wanted to kick the door down and break into the room, but even she knew that Ren wouldn't speak a thing if she showed herself. This was her only option. She was peeved about having to follow a kidnapper's proposition, but she couldn't deny that it was her only option. Why am I just imagining Shiro casually just kind of walking up right behind Kasumi, busting down the door open like, "Sup, bitches, you miss me?"
大体何よ。
Waiting for her to fall asleep and then disappearing like he did was hardly forgivable in her book. Kasumi couldn't understand why Ren was always so keen on keeping her out of his woes. She did understand that this particular case was way beyond the level of a joke. However, that was exactly why she wanted him to consult her. Ren was the only one who benefited from him bottling it up and worrying all by his lonesome. That tendency of his caused Kasumi more irritation and frustration than she knew how to handle. Maybe she wouldn't be of much help. Maybe she'd even get in the way, but she thought that maybe she could, if he let her, lessen his burden by worrying along with it.
ああ、もう、本当に聞こえないよ。
They were mumbling something about arms and necks, but none of it connected for her. Kasumi started to question if breaking in wasn't actually the better idea.
ねえ、ねえねえ。
Fucking called the Hughes. Frustrated with those considerations, she, with her ears against the door's edge, called out to the guy slumped on the sofa behind her.
シロ、あんたはいいの？聞かなくて。
ああ、俺は別に興味ねえわ。
That was a straight up lie, for Shiro had an earphone lodged in the ear that Kasumi couldn't see.
あいつが口割るとすりゃ、特に面識のないエリーになる確率が一番高いし、だからこのセッティングにお前も了解したんだろ。
Oh.
ここはおとなしく待っとこうぜ。気になりゃ後でエリー自体に聞けばいい。
Evil, but I like it.
それはそうだけど。
Kasumi mumbled something before making a dissatisfied pout. The fact that she was the very same soft-hearted, lovable, and simple Twitsumi he knew made him grin.
お前、俺がいない間にチッターレンと進んだか？
進んだって何がよ。
だから実質住んでる部屋同じなんだし、俺がいなくならできることもやれることも増えるだろうがよ。
I'm not even surprised that he went there.
できることってあんたそんな。
だよ、万年少女かよ。終わってんな、お前。
Christ.
やかましゃ
おい、声。
She was stupid. A real idiot.
でもまあ、お前はそういうところがいいんだろうな、多分。
うるさいわね。あんたこそいきなりいなくなったと思ったらこんなところでフラフラと。
ああ、はいはい。その説教はもういいだろ。何回目だよ。
まだ一回もちゃんと最後までしてないわよ。
じゃあ、あっちの話はもう仕方か？
それはダメ。
Kasumi snuck up to the edge of the door again, but no matter how closely she listened, she couldn't get a proper grasp on the conversation, which was hardly surprising, considering that Shiro and Ellie set it up like that to begin with. Evil. Unbeknownst to Kasumi, there was a small amplifier placed between the two rooms, releasing a noise preventing any human voices from being heard on the other side. You're just doing that to tease her, aren't you? With the exception of Shiro listening in on the exchange through a device in Ellie's clothes, it was practically impossible for anyone to hear anything from the neighboring room.
全然聞こえないよ。
Poor girl.
だから今は諦めろって。いいじゃねえか。俺ら二人揃って蚊帳の外っつうことは逆説あいつが蚊帳の外だ。
All Shiro had to do was make Kasumi acknowledge the fact that Ren spoke up about his situation. Though she did seem less than satisfied, even she understood that the current setup was the best she could get. This was a display of Shiro's kindness towards his childhood friends. It allowed Ren to go without having to make up some bullshit to hide the truth from Kasumi, who in turn didn't have to be fooled by him. He established what seemed to be the optimal situation for the both of them. Good on you, Shiro. Although, rather than an act of kindness, it was more of a method of making up for the fact that he was about to use them both for his own gains. Yep, that sounds about right.
しかし、何話してんのかね、あいつらは。
While actually having full grasp of the exchange, he nonchalantly pretended to scratch his chin to fix the small microphone near his mouth.
だいたいエリー、あいつも学校サボりすぎだろ。
だから今一番危ないのは学校なんだよ。
Honjo answered my 15th question. Man, they've been going at it.
レン君は引っ越し組だから知らないかもしんないけど、私はここの生まれだからさ。有名なんだよね、その話。
She was talking about the thing I heard from Reinhard. The hardly believable bullshit that this town was built by their accomplices who were here before, during and after World War II.
実際、異説俗説入り混じって、今じゃ何が正しいのかよくわかんないけど。この町に都合8カ所、重要ポイントっていうのがあるらしい。風水とか錬金術とか、まあいろいろ言われてるけど、それを線でつなぐとやばいんだってさ。
Bit of an understatement there.
で、その中でもほとんど絶対に近い確率で8個の一つに数えられてるのが
月額なのか。
Ding ding ding, we have a winner!
そう。
That answer gave me a headache. I could feel nothing but rage at myself for not realizing it sooner. Sakurai told me that the school was a special place and that it was the reason why she and Rusalka were there. That was why the school was easily the most dangerous place right now. Regardless of whether or not I was there, they had business with it.
なんか朝練っぽい生徒らが何人か登校してたって言ったよね。おかしいんだよそれ。だって今は例の事件で部活動やってなかったはずなんでしょ？
Students walk to school in a situation they shouldn't be, like rats drawn to the magical song of the Pied Piper. I should have grabbed any one of those students and checked if they were sane or not. If I did that, then by now I would be...
助かったよ、本庄。
I immediately got her from the sofa, making Marie lose me as her support and wake up in a state of surprise. You forgot that she was sleeping on you, dude!
どうしたの？いきなり。
Apologize immediately.
今から学校に行く。
I don't wanna! I hate school! Ignoring her confusion, I took her hand and helped her up. I knew that we were hurriedly walking to and fro all morning, but the situation didn't allow us any rest. My current enemy was either Sakurai, Rusalka, or both. I had no idea which, but I couldn't just ignore it. Unless I did something, they would succeed in completely resurrecting Reinhard. That was the one thing I had to prevent, no matter the cost.
いいの？このまま行っちゃって。
She was probably asking if I wanted to see Kasumi and Shiro before taking off.
いい。顔を見ると決心が鈍りそうだ。それに目でも覚まされたら面倒だろう。
そりゃね、確かに。
Honjo shrugged with a wry smile on her face. In our exchange, I told her pretty much everything I knew. The only exception was the vignette about Marie's life and its end, but other than that, I was all out of cards. I had no idea if she believed everything I told her, but that was completely outside my domain now. We each got our share of info, and that was it. Now, each of us had to decide whether or not what we got was the truth.
でもそっか魂か液体窒素も効かないとかどんだけギャグ一歩手前なのよって思ったけど本当に悪い冗談が相手なんだね
Well, the important thing is we tried. I would really appreciate it if what I told her made them refrain from getting any deeper into this mess.
かすみのことは頼むよ俺は
ああはいはいいってらっしゃいあできれば首とか持って帰ってくれると嬉しい標本にするから
Sure. This woman sure could say some nutty things.
それからこれプレゼント改造してるから地球のどっからでも通話できるよ
Saying that, she threw me a cell phone.
私とシローの番号入ってるから何かあったら連絡して
分かった
Neat!
じゃあねマリーちゃんあれどうしたのかな私の顔になんかついてる
さようなら
エリー名前ちょっとかぶってるよね私らって
Ellie, Marie, kind of?
エリーそうだねあなたも私と同じになるよ
What?
That? That can kind of be taken two ways. One kind of in an innocent way, the other, unsettling?
そりゃ光栄だわすっごい楽しみ
Or did I completely misconstrue what she said there?
行くぞ
You'll soon be like... Honestly, I didn't understand a thing of what they were saying. I learned from Kasumi and Himuro that conversations between females were something that needed to be professionally deciphered for us men to process them. This is probably no different. Just one of the ways women displayed friendship and affection amongst themselves. I registered it accordingly and promptly forgot about it. God damn. Blissfully unaware of how foolish I was being and what a grave mistake I was making. After seeing them off, Ellie held her shoulders and silently hummed.
やだな私震えてる
Chills, unlike those brought by fear, were running all over her body. Ellie didn't know why, but looking Marie straight in the eye made her shiver. If she was forced to compare it to anything, she would likely converge on the feeling of being love-struck. She didn't actually swing that way, but her heart was palpitating and her breath was ragged. She hummed again while tilting her head to the side. Ellie thought that the feeling might be akin to envy. She considered him a good guy, felt bad about what she did, and would be glad if he didn't grow to hate her, though he likely would, sooner or later. The moment Marie induced those complicated emotions in her, Ellie felt shock, as if the girl had seen through her intentions. That was probably the best way to describe it. Well, not like it mattered anyway.
ちょっと
Which was why it was very easy for Ellie to discard all these nonsensical thoughts and meet with Kasumi as she sculled in from the neighboring room. Their plan worked, and that was good enough.
あいついきなりどこ行っちゃったのよ
デートしてくるってさ
デートって
Kasumi looked confused as though she were contemplating if that really were the case.
なんかすごい真面目な顔して出て行ったけどそんな雰囲気じゃなかったような
じゃあ追いかける
いやでもさすがにそれは
Ellie placed a hand on the mumbling Kasumi's head and looked at the other person while signaling something with her eyes.
シロあんたが代わりに経過見届けてきなさいよかすみちゃんそっちの方が気になるみたいだし
そりゃ別にいいけどよなんだお前ずいぶんそいつに甘いじゃん気に入ったんか
Maybe?
なんかチワワみたいで可愛い
Saying that, Ellie caressed Kasumi's head, though it was less of a caress and more of a grind.
痛い痛い痛い痛いはげるはげるはげ
お前の頭はいつも煙吹いてんだろ。
Jesus.
じゃあま、エリー。
分かってる。
Ignoring Kasumi's complaining, the two looked at each other in the eye and shared a smile, as if they'd agreed on something.
どっちが当たりでも恨みっこなしな。
理想は2人揃ってレアモンゲットなんだけどね。
つうより俺はよ。
Ellie was sitting down, and Shiro leaned forward to align his eyes with hers. Kasumi was still between them, though he didn't seem to care.
あいつらみたいな関係も悪くはねえかなと思ってんだよ。
あんた、私に買われたいの？
さあね、言ったろ？どっちでも恨みっこなしだ。
2人とも近いっていうか、私の顔貫通して話すのやめてほしいんだけど。
起伏のねえ扁平面だから障害物にはなんねえよ。
God, Shiro. Oh God, I missed you.
それはブスっちゅうことか。
ちげえって。
味のある顔ってことよ。
例えば？
味ね
え。And a moment later, Shiro and Ellie simultaneously licked Kasumi's cheek, startling her enough to make her jump. Why did I mentally... The weird thing is, I kind of thought that that's what was going to happen, but I didn't think they would actually do it. And like that, you've made Kasumi short circuit.
味しね
えよ。ちょっと塩味効きすぎかも。
Oh God. As Kasumi's stiffening escalated to the point of being almost audible, Shiro sprinkled some sugar on her and began to leave the room.
これで少しは味変わったろ。そいつのことはお前に任せる。俺は行ってくっからよ。
You are so mean.
はいはい、いってらっしゃい。
Oh my God.
てかあんた、なんでそんな都合よく砂糖なんか常備してんのよ。
Why?
他にもいろいろあんだぜ。
Okay.
そう、いろいろね。
Like circumstances of all kinds and sorts, Ellie inched her face for another lick of sugar-coated Kasumi's cheek, only to have her avoid it by jumping away while it's all she had.
おいしそうなスイーツなのに。
You two are evil. Kasumi wanted nothing to do with this patronizing weirdo of a woman. All she could do was ask God why she was constantly surrounded by nutcases. Jesus. Ever since leaving the club, I held a certain worry on my mind, but only now did I realize how idiotic it really was. Why was I getting so worked up over the question of how to make Marie blend in at school? I was the one to decide whether she even had a presence or not, and since we are going into battle, it was best if I just had her return to me right from the start. If anything were to happen, there was no denying that she would be far more useful within me than in her human form. And yet, right up until just a moment ago, I acknowledged her as a person, a complete human being. Looking back on it, I didn't even think of undoing her image when we were running to Kasumi's room. I just grabbed her hand and dragged her with me. Was I only being clumsy? Or did I subconsciously change my outlook on her? Didn't know why, but it was hardly anything to be ashamed of. It was certainly idiotic, but there was no need for regrets. Acknowledging Marie as a human and treating her as such could not have been a mistake. So...
驚いた。
Oh my
意外
God.
に似合うな。
Let me guess, is that Kasumi's spare outfit? Marie gazed at me with expectant eyes, so I praised her. We both stood in my room, each of us clad in a school uniform. Marie's was a spare that Kasumi had. I didn't get her consent, but since her other set of clothes was Kasumi's too, I doubt she would have minded. Hell, as long as I didn't mention it to her, she probably wouldn't even notice.
お揃いだね。でも、意外ってどういうこと？
あ、いや、そりゃなんつうか。
I didn't mean it in a bad way. Marie was a foreigner, so I just assumed that the fashion of Japanese school uniforms wouldn't mix well with her, but the result completely betrayed my expectations. Well, perhaps a girl as cute as her could look good in anything. Though, if I had to say something...
つい最近金髪に白い服って組み合わせでとんでもないの見たからそのせいかな。
I mean... Marie knew who I was referring to and gave me a sympathetic smile.
あの人怖いもんね。
Agreed. Reinhard. What did he even do to her? The self-deprecating smile on her face was just like that of a normal girl.
レンも怖い？
Yeah.
そうだな。
I couldn't even bluff about that. That thing is scary, full stop. Which is exactly why I couldn't let him do as he pleased.
とにかく学校へ行こう。その格好ならまあ。
大丈夫？
だとは思うけど。
Well, we had Rusalka with the whole transfer student act, so it should work to a certain extent. Bringing her with her normal clothes was out of the question, but with the uniform thing shouldn't go beyond a few questioning glances from the students.
基本堂々としてりゃいいから。
Basically, I wanted her to keep on smiling like she always did. Surely there weren't a lot of Japanese people able to just walk up to a pretty white girl they didn't know. Those worries of mine proved to be meaningless the moment we came to school. Alright, that seems like a pretty good place for us to go ahead and end it for today. So it seems like we're going to be heading to the school, and it'll be an interesting little experience having Marie kind of, you know, experience. I was trying to write down school uniform. But it'll be interesting to kind of see how Marie handles the environment. On the other hand, Shiro being Shiro and Ellie being Ellie and poor Kasumi being literally stuck in the middle of it all. Poor girl. Just fucking carry sugar around with him. Okay. Anyway, I feel like that's a pretty good place for us to go ahead and end it for today. So, I'm a little bit worried, because apparently all hell is about to break loose. So that's going to be an interesting little experience, isn't it? I'm wondering who the first one we're going to fight is. I imagine that the first one we're probably going to fight is going to be... Okay, so I should probably write this down, but I'm going to guess that it's going to be Rusalka, Bei, Sakurai, wait, no. We need to fight Samuel, because she'll be at the... Shit, I forgot to factor in Samuel. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to not even try to guess. I'm just going to wait and see what the fuck happens. But that talk between Shiro and Ellie. As well as Marie, you know, saying that about, Ellie herself. That makes me think that Ellie is going to end up actually being like Marie and becoming sort of like a pseudo-weapon for Shiro, possibly, through some method. I'm not entirely sure how. But that's just the kind of thing I might have completely misconstrued that, and y'all are just kind of listening like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? But that's just the kind of idea that kind of came to me with the way that Marie said that. And the subsequent discussion between Shiro and Ellie. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Have I mentioned I love DS Irae? And I will see you guys in the next video. Hello there everybody, Sabato92 here, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys like my content, then maybe you'd like to check out another channel who I think deserves equal attention. So click that nightmare emblem and check out that channel, or go to the links in the description down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.